What's going on, everybody? Charlie Dink Hunter here. Today we're going over the SLX DC reel review. As you can see, I just got the empty box because I got the reel on the pole using it. Getting some good results. So today we're just going to go over everything that you need to know about the SLX DC reel, and you can decide whether or not you want to buy it or not. So first things first, I'm just going to shoot you through some video that I have here of me actually using the reel, and after that we'll come back and we'll talk about some specs.
Alright, the initial run through with the Shimano SLX DC reel. I have it set to 4, which is the high wind, little Texas rig, weight, worm. Just going to try to get it dialed in and see how good she does. Says this has to be tight so it doesn't wobble, so try to do the same thing as usually do, and let's see here. 4, cast it out, no thumb. Ooh, it's tough not to apply that thumb, but no thumb, no bird's nest. Here we go. Wow, goes pretty good too. You guys can hear and see that it's a pretty windy day. Got this thing turned up to 4 and I got a weighted Senko on there. Pretty much if I hit the button, it drops. You can see how tight that is. I'm gonna cast it into the wind and not put my thumb on the reel, just so you guys can see how well this breaks. Ready? Nothing. Now I got a little craw style bait on here, green, doesn't matter, but I have turned the SLX DC reel down to 3, and we are going to let her rip, tater chip, and hope for the best. Here we go. Look at that. SLX DC reel down to 2, and let's go. Just like that.
All right, so as you guys can see, the reel works out very well. Even in windy conditions, it's still breaking almost perfectly. The only thing I will say is that I think it likes a heavier line. I had 15-pound fluoro on this reel when I first got it, and it worked out fantastic. I put on 12, and it still works great, but it seemed to like the 15-pound fluoro just a little bit better. So there's a bunch of stuff here on this paper I'm going to go through with you guys, just so you know, heads up on the reel. 3 different types of reels. They have a 6:3:1, a 7:2:1, and an 8:1:1 reel ratio. 8:2:1, sorry. So different speeds, obviously. They have a 150 series and a 151. You can see this is 151. The only difference between that is left and right-handed. I like using left-handed a little bit better, but that's just me. Line ratio is 10 yards, 10 pound for 120 yards, 12 pound at 110, and 14 for 90. Same weight, 7.6 ounces for the total weight of the reel, no matter which one you get. So it's pretty light and it's super comfortable in your hand. I'm very impressed. The main thing that you need to know with dialing this thing in is the braking system is obviously very different, and that's what you're here for. So in order to tighten the casting for the DC reel, the big knob on the side, usually, you know, everybody tightens it up just so that the bait stops, loosens it up a little bit so it falls down. This, you have to make sure that it is just not loose side to side. This way the batteries can charge up at the right speed, and then they can do the proper braking, is what this says here. And then there's the digital control system. It's a braking system. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 settings. 1 is for maximum distance for casting almost normally. 2 is for braided line. 3 is for fluorocarbon. And 4 is if you want to skip those baits underneath some trees, or if you're a beginner and you don't really know how to use the DC reel or any other bait caster reel for that matter. Throw it onto 4. Cast away, and you saw in the videos before that it obviously does a great job of that. So some other things, quick fire here. This is just the name they give for the button. It's comfortable, you know, stuff like that. Spool access, how to get to the spool. It's pretty simple. I've had some pretty big bird's nest on here, and I've actually had to take the spool off in order to get to the line and stuff, because user error, nothing to do with the reel really, but I bird's nested it and I couldn't get all the line off, so I had to pull the spool out. Super simple to come out, super simple to line up. There's one little hole in the middle of the reel, so it's super simple to get on, and it holds. I will say though that you do need 95% filled with line in order for it to really work, you know. So after a while, it's not going to be as good as some of your other reels that you can, you know, tie off, tie on, tie off, tie on. You wind up getting low, and then you just adjust the way that you're casting. This is supposed to have 95% of the reel capacity filled up. So after a while, you're going to have to reline it or add some line depending on how it's working. It comes with this booklet too, which you saw in the unboxing. It's just all the parts and pieces. Supposedly, it's super simple to order all the parts and pieces that you need in case something winds up breaking. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm super satisfied with these DC reels. Coming in at $189. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can check it out for yourself. I love it, and I'm probably going to wind up buying more. The only thing that I need to question is the SLX DC versus the Corrado DC. I'm going to have to try to pick one up over the winter time, and then maybe I'll do a side-by-side comparison review so you guys can check that out. But if you guys are having any questions on the DC reel, I would definitely go ahead and buy it. Skipping baits under trees, and for really, really windy days, this reel works out awesome. So thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.